You ever notice how every time Caitlyn Clark breathes, someone out there loses their mind? Well, buckle up.
Caitlyn Clark!
Because the moment her new Disney X State Farm commercial dropped live across the internet, the haters didn't just get loud, they exploded. Welcome back to Her Hoops, the home of unapologetic WNBA truth-telling. And today, we're breaking down why this tiny 30-second commercial featuring Caitlyn Clark and NBA legend Chris Paul has turned into a full-on cultural earthquake.
Chris, you retiring?
Want to help with this question?
Allow me to assist.
Dad, are you retiring? Oh, puppy. What's your name, little guy?
Tell me, you retiring?
Oh,
it's mascot Jake.
So everyone says you're gonna retire. Is it true? You can tell me.
Is this metal?
Are you going to retire? Caitlyn Clark has a new State Farm commercial, and we have major news coming out of the WNBA about this 2026.
Because on paper, it's simple. State Farm released a cute spot about Chris Paul dodging retirement rumors. Caitlyn Clark pops in for about 10 seconds. Everyone chuckles. End of story, right? Wrong. The internet instantly melted down. The excitement was enormous, but the anger? Oh, the anger was even louder. And it exposed a tension inside the WNBA that nobody wants to talk about out loud. Because while Caitlyn's out here starring in commercials with icons, breaking viewership records, and becoming one of the most marketable athletes on earth,
I need a break.
Time for a Big Ten game break. I'm Jenny Taft here with Hawkeye Caitlyn Clark.
Excuse me, I just need a little help. Life's moving really fast. New job, new car, new apartment.
Oh, you don't need us. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm is there for you and can help with your insurance needs.
Oh. Hey, Jenny, I gotta get back to the game.
Oh, right. Let me just grab a latte to go.
Make that two.
the WNBA is knee-deep in a high-stakes 2026 CBA negotiation that just exposed some massive contradictions in how the league values its players. Some fans are thrilled, some players are frustrated. And then there are the haters, the ones who can't stand watching Caitlyn dominate both on and off the court. The ones who are somehow angrier about a 30-second commercial than they are about the league's broken salary system. And that brings us to the big question I want you to answer in the comments right now.
Yes, so this is Caitlyn Clark, like I said, reacting to Chris Paul actually retiring. So we're going to head on over to State Farm, see this post right here. A lot of people has talked about it. A lot of people has liked it. I think he's back with the Clippers too. Let's see.
Auto State Farm agents are here for your questions.
Chris,
You retiring?
Want to help with this question?
Allow me to assist.
Dad, are you retiring?
I'm pretty sure this music
What's
gonna
your
get
name, little
copyrighted.
guy?
But I ain't gonna lie
tell
to
me,
you.
you retiring?
And there she is.
Oh, it's mascot.
Why do you think certain people lose their minds every time Caitlyn Clark succeeds? Is it jealousy? Is it insecurity? Is it something even deeper? Drop your theories below, because today on Her Hoops, we're walking straight into the fire. We're breaking down the commercial, the internet reaction, the WNBA salary drama, and the reason Caitlyn's success keeps triggering the same people over and over and over again. This is the setup. This is the spark. And trust me, the story only gets crazier from here.
Caitlyn Clark from the logo!
You know, life would be easier if I could do everything from the logo.
Allow me.
The answer is Sheboygan.
The match. P-E-Z-O-L.
Bottom row?
From the logo. State Farm with the assist.
To understand why this new Disney X State Farm commercial shook the internet, you've got to understand the bigger picture. Because Caitlyn Clark didn't just show up on a random set one day and get lucky. No, this moment has been years in the making. Let's rewind. Chris Paul has been the face of State Farm commercials since 2008. 17 years. We're talking Jake from State Farm, Cliff Paul, the viral memes, the full brand identity. Chris Paul is practically stitched into the red polo at this point.
Thanks, Jake. I got it from here. So that was State Farm revealing their commercial in regards to Chris Paul retirement. Caitlyn Clark had a little cameo in there, man. Now we got to talk about the hottest story of the day. and that is the CBA negotiation, man. These things right here. But this story has broken the internet. I'm kind of missed reporting on it yesterday, so we're gonna do a little catch-up time here, man. So it's that the WNBA offered a $1.1 million max.
He's the standard, the benchmark, the veteran who built the entire playbook. So when State Farm decides to pair him with someone new, someone fresh, someone the whole world is watching, that's not just a cameo, that's a statement. And that statement is Caitlyn Clark. But this wasn't their first link-up. State Farm made history back in October 2023 when they signed Caitlyn, still in college, as their first ever college athlete on the sports roster. Let that sink in. Before Caitlyn, State Farm's elite lineup was Patrick Mahomes, Chris Paul, NBA and NFL superstars. Then came a women's college basketball player who was still taking classes on campus. That's when everyone should have realized Caitlyn wasn't just changing the game, she was changing the marketplace. Her early commercials, like the coffee shop scene with Jenny Taft and the Big Ten game break gag, blew up on social media. Then came the From the Logo ad, where Caitlyn jokes about doing everything from the logo while Jake paints it around her house. It ran during the NBA playoffs. It ran during the WNBA season. It ran everywhere. Brands don't give you that level of exposure unless you're big time, unless you're a cultural force, unless you're someone who brings eyes, energy, and revenue. So now fast forward to today. A Chris Paul retirement-themed commercial. A cameo that lasts maybe 10 seconds. And yet, she steals the spotlight instantly, because the truth is, Caitlyn has become bigger than the moments she appears in. She's an ecosystem. She moves numbers. She moves conversations. She moves the culture. And that's why every tiny thing she does, including this State Farm ad, creates a chain reaction the WNBA hasn't fully prepared for. Her presence isn't normal. Her impact isn't normal. Her success isn't normal. And the people who refuse to admit that? Those are the ones cracking under the pressure right now. All right, now let's break down exactly why this 30-second commercial sent shockwaves through the basketball world, and why Caitlyn Clark's 10-second appearance stole the entire show. The commercial opens with Chris Paul doing what he's done for nearly 2 decades, smiling through non-stop retirement questions. The fans ask, kids ask, mascots ask. Even Jake from State Farm tries to step in and save him. It's light. It's funny. It's classic CP3. But then, the moment everyone remembers, the moment that turned the world upside down. Caitlyn Clark walks into frame, and suddenly, the energy shifts. She doesn't come in timid. She doesn't play it safe. She looks Chris Paul dead in the eye and asks him the question everyone's been asking for months. So, is it true? Are you retiring? You can tell me. It's playful. It's confident. It's the exact kind of charisma brands spend millions hoping to find. The internet didn't just like it, it exploded. Within minutes, fans were posting clips everywhere. Thousands of comments poured in. Caitlyn Clark just stole the entire commercial. I didn't even realize this was supposed to be about Chris Paul. Caitlyn and State Farm is elite content. Give us more. One fan said it best. Nobody cares if Chris Paul retires. Everyone's locked in on Caitlyn. That sounds harsh, but it's the truth. She completely overshadowed a 21-year NBA veteran in his own retirement-themed ad. That's not normal. That's star power you cannot fake. But here's the important part. This wasn't an accident. This was strategic. State Farm knows Caitlyn's value. They know she breaks algorithms. They know she brings new audiences, including young fans, casual viewers, and people who haven't watched a WNBA game in their lives until she showed up. So while the ad is technically about Chris Paul, the entire impact of the commercial comes from Caitlyn Clark's presence. And the louder the excitement grew, the louder the anger got from the people who can't stomach her rising this fast, this big, and this publicly. This commercial didn't just entertain people, it exposed something much bigger and much more uncomfortable about the WNBA's landscape right now. Now here's where things take a turn, Because while the internet is busy celebrating Caitlyn Clark lighting up a State Farm commercial, behind the scenes, the WNBA is battling through one of the most explosive, high-pressure, high-stakes contract negotiations in league history. And the timing? Couldn't be more ironic. Caitlyn Clark is starring in national ads with NBA royalty. Meanwhile, the league she plays in is locked in a CBA fight over salaries that don't even come close to matching the value she brings. Just days before this commercial dropped, headlines everywhere said, WNBA players could make $1.1 million under new deal. Fans were celebrating. Media was hyping it. People thought this was the moment everything changed. But the truth, the real truth, hit like a punch to the gut. Because according to multiple reports and sources familiar with the negotiation, that $1.1 million number? A marketing trick. A number that looks great in articles but falls apart the moment you read the fine print. Here's what the league didn't say out loud. The actual base salary isn't $1.1 million. It's not even close. It's around $800,000 to $850,000. Everything else, the rest of that big shiny number, depends on revenue targets that have never been hit, bonus structures almost no players reach, playoff achievements most players will never get, MVP incentives, all WNBA incentives, team performance, uncapped revenue sharing that historically means nothing. It's smoke and mirrors, a headline number, a negotiation tactic designed to look transformative without actually being transformative. And the players noticed instantly. Sophie Cunningham said it flat out. It sounds good, but what happens when the business keeps going up? And the players' union didn't even sugarcoat it. They called the offer lipstick on a pig. That's how deep the frustration is. So here's the escalation. On one side, Caitlyn Clark is in a Disney-backed State Farm commercial watched by millions. On the other, she's making less than $86,000 in WNBA salary next season. She is literally the biggest star the league has ever had, the driver of record-breaking numbers, a marketing phenomenon. While the WNBA's salary structure is still stuck in the past. This contrast, this is the fuel that ignited all the anger, jealousy, and hostility around that commercial launch. Because Caitlyn's visibility exposes the gap. It exposes the imbalance. It exposes what the league has avoided addressing for years. And some people absolutely cannot handle that. Now let's dig deeper, because this story isn't just surface-level drama, and it's definitely not just another WNBA tension headline. This entire situation, Caitlyn Clark, the new Disney commercial, State Farm, the booming spotlight, and the haters sprinting out of the shadows, is rooted in something bigger. The collision of performance, pressure, and public perception. Let's start with the obvious truth nobody wants to say outright. Caitlyn Clark didn't stumble into this spotlight. She earned it. Statistically, theatrically, culturally. Last season alone, she shattered rookie records, doubled Indiana's TV ratings, and moved merch numbers that looked more NBA than WNBA. That kind of breakout isn't normal, and it definitely doesn't happen quietly. Now add corporate America. Disney saw her star power. State Farm saw her national pull. All of a sudden, Caitlyn Clark isn't just a player, she's a brand engine, a face that prints money every time she appears on screen. These companies don't gamble. They don't guess. They buy influence backed by data, and the data all pointed to her. But here's where the tension builds. The WNBA has never had a player with this level of crossover appeal this early in her career. Not Diana, not Maya, not even Sabrina. Clark didn't grow into her impact. She detonated into it from day one. That alone disrupts the traditional power structure. And deep down, that's why the backlash feels personal. It isn't just jealousy. It isn't just competitiveness. It's the fear that one player might be rewriting the rules faster than the league can even respond. Because for years, the WNBA identity has been built around slow growth, team-first mentality, and established veterans who carved out respect over time. Then here comes Caitlyn, a rookie with a bigger cultural footprint than most franchises. And suddenly the league has to rethink everything from marketing, to scheduling, to salary growth, to rookie development. That kind of pressure doesn't just sit on the league, it sits on Caitlyn too. Every commercial she films, every headline she generates, every time she breathes, she gets dissected. So when State Farm or Disney drops an ad with her front and center, you have to understand, that's not just a commercial, it's a statement, a message, a shift in the league's gravity. And whether players admit it or not, they feel it. Now let's zoom out, because what's happening around Caitlyn Clark isn't just a personal storyline or a locker room clash. It's reshaping the entire WNBA ecosystem in real time. And honestly, this might be the first time in league history where one player's cultural pull is forcing the league, the media, and even other athletes to rethink what the future of women's basketball actually looks like. Start with the league itself. The WNBA has wanted mainstream attention for decades, but it didn't expect the flood to come all at once. Ratings up, ticket sales exploding, road games turning into Caitlyn Clark tours. Suddenly, every arena she walks into hits capacity, and teams that never cracked local headlines are selling out overnight. The Caitlyn effect isn't theory, it's measurable impact. But with that impact comes a new problem: visibility inequality. Some players love it, some hate it. Some don't know how to express their frustration without sounding jealous. Because let's be honest, when one rookie has more commercials, more highlights, and more brand power than entire teams combined, it forces uncomfortable conversations about value, representation, and opportunity. Then there's the media. They don't operate on fairness, they operate on momentum. And Caitlyn is momentum. That means every storyline, every rivalry, every slip, every stare becomes content. And that spotlight doesn't just shine on her, it casts shadows on others. Players who've been grinding for years suddenly feel invisible next to a 22-year-old phenom with Disney contracts and State Farm campaigns. But the biggest shift? Fans. New fans aren't entering the league through traditional WNBA culture. They're entering through Clark culture. Her highlights, her attitude, her range, her underdog story, her massive college legacy. And that terrifies some people, because a player-driven fan base can reshape an entire league. More merch, more attendance, more money, more pressure. If the WNBA embraces it, the league evolves. If the league resists it, the friction grows. And that's why the haters are loud right now. They're reacting not just to Caitlyn the player, but Caitlyn the catalyst. She's speeding up a timeline that the league wasn't prepared for. At the end of the day, everything happening around Caitlyn Clark, the Disney spotlight, the State Farm commercial, the social media storms, the cheers, the hate, the non-stop debate, it all funnels down into one undeniable truth. She has become the center of gravity in women's basketball. And that kind of impact doesn't come quietly. It doesn't arrive without resistance. It doesn't grow without shaking the ground beneath it. Caitlyn Clark is living in a moment where every single thing she does, from knocking down a logo three to filming a 30-second ad spot, becomes a cultural event. And that is both the blessing and the burden of superstardom. But here's what makes her story different from every other star the WNBA has ever produced. She didn't wait her turn. She didn't ease in. She didn't respect the timeline. She tore it apart. She arrived as a disruptor, a ratings mover, an economic engine, a narrative force. And when disruptors enter the room, two things always happen. The world changes, and people push back. Because people are comfortable with slow progress. They're comfortable with predictable hierarchies. They're comfortable when everything stays in its place. But Caitlyn Clark isn't here to fit into the old WNBA. She's here to drag the league, willingly or not, into a new era. And that scares those who built their identity inside the old one. Maybe that's why the hate feels so loud. Maybe that's why the tension feels so sharp. Maybe that's why every commercial she does sparks a new wave of outrage. It's not the commercial they're mad at. It's what the commercial represents. It represents a shift in power, a shift in attention, a shift in opportunity, a shift in who gets to be the face of the league. Disney knows it. State Farm knows it. Fans know it. Her teammates know it. And deep down, her critics know it too. Whether they like her or not, Caitlyn Clark is dragging the WNBA into the spotlight with her. She is the story. She is the draw. She is the axis everything spins around right now. And the haters? They're just part of the soundtrack. So if you're watching this right now, here's your call to action. If you believe in this new era of women's basketball, if you believe in players who break molds, challenge expectations, and push the game forward, then make sure you like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more deep dive WNBA breakdowns. Because whether people love her or love to hate her, Caitlyn Clark isn't going anywhere. And neither is the conversation.